Sharp's gaze moves from the body to the tree to the witches and back, uncertainty clear on his face. How long do we have before the spell reaches the ley lines? Reese and Xander look at each other before Reese says, "It's hard to say. None of us have seen a spell quite like this." "But you've seen something similar," Sharp presses. Reese and Xander look away, their shoulders hunching in a clear sign they won't speak about it. Flint grips Reese's shoulder and steps forward. "You remember the demon who was terrorizing Clearhelm back before the magical resurgence? The one who attacked you at Boo's Boutique Bakery?" I stiffen at the reminder of how close Sharp had come to dying that day. A rogue mortifer, a type of demon who usually lives in graveyards and eats dead bodies, decided he wanted more from life and had his sights set on the bakery owner as his way to step up in the world. Sharp had the misfortune of being there during the attack and almost died. That was also the day he gained definitive proof that we had been lying to him about the existence of the paranormal. We had been called in to clean up the aftermath of that fight and lost what little of Sharp's trust we had. I dislike him being reminded of that day when we finally started growing closer again. Sharp has bad memories of his own to contend with, and his hand twitches like he wants to reach for his weapon. "I thought that guy was dead. Yeah, he's gone, but there's no way to know who he interacted with and possibly passed his twisted magical theories onto." My eyes drop to the disemboweled body on the ground as I recall some of what Victor Hess had done with his warped magic. We met Reese and his small coven while working the Victor Hess case for the succubus who owns Boo's Boutique Bakery, Adeline Boo Pond, and her demons of destruction. They had needed help covering up what Victor Hess was doing in Clearhelm. He had somehow created a spell that converted natural magical energies into a toxic sludge that he could then use to craft his own spells. He had been attempting to turn Addie, a demon whose nature is to convert energy, into his own little magic factory. That same succubus later killed him, but the bone forest he created on the demon plane remains to this day. He had destroyed one of his workshops, a house next to the Clearhelm mortuary, but no one had been able to find his second lair or the books he used to create his nasty spells. For all we know, he had students, or somebody had stumbled onto his lair in the years that followed the magical resurgence. His magic-eating spell had been carved directly into Addie's body. Because she was a succubus, she had been able to heal the damage. She would have become his own living magic supply if his spell had been allowed to fully form. But a mortal witch would not be able to survive the same spell. He wouldn't need to, though, if the point was to contaminate the blood that poured out of his body and into the ground, where the tree's roots will drink it and carry it down to the ley lines. "We need a decision, Sharp," Flint murmurs, the skin around his eyes tight with tension. Sharp makes his choice and turns to one of his techs. "Walker, your people have 10 minutes to collect as much as possible." "Sir," she protests, "that's not enough time." Sharp's expression hardens. "Make do, because in 10 minutes, they're going to set this place on fire, whether or not you're done. We can't risk whatever is happening here spreading." Her lips part before she shakes her head and turns to her people. "You heard the man. We need pictures, vacuums, samples, and whatever else you can grab," she barks out. "Do it fast. Your timer starts now." As the techs move into a frenzy of activity, I pat Sharp on the arm and then make a wide circle around the crime scene to join Flint and the other witches. "Did you see anything that looks like the markings Victor Hess used?" I asked, directing the question to all of them. Reese and Xander shake their heads as Flint says, "They're drawn on the grass and not directly on the body like we've seen in the past. It likely allowed for the spell to spread wider, but if you look closely, there are signs of the black sludge we've seen before."